Hello everybody, welcome into Rock Painting 101. We are doing a mandala month here on our Facebook page, where we are going to be challenging ourselves to expand on our mandala abilities. I have to say probably the most challenging part of this video coming on live is trying to find a good angle where you guys are going to be able to see what I'm doing. However, this angle isn't fantastic for me reading comments, so feel free to say hi. If you have questions, leave them there. If I catch them, I'll answer them live. If I don't catch them live, I will come back and answer them in the comments. So before I get started, I've just base coated some rocks with black just because it really helps the colors pop off of the rocks. And I did finally invest in some dotting tools, and I have to say, I don't know why I waited so long. So this is the set I purchased on Amazon. It's the one that's in our supply link for this month's challenge. They're $9, you guys. It's amazing. So I've only done one rock so far. I got these in the mail yesterday. I created this rock here using some of the Deco Art metallic paints. And this was my first one ever using the dotting tools. And I have to say, there are a lot of homemade dotting tools and ways you can create dotting tools at home, but these really do help because you can hold them on their side a little bit, and I'll explain that more later. So if you use tools at home, if you feel like you like the creation of this type of rock, I highly suggest getting yourself some tools. It will help you dot better. The main reason for that is because, like when you're using an eraser or a nail head, you have to have that straight up and down to get that perfect circle. But since these are like an orb, if you get the paint when it's slightly tilted, you can actually paint slightly tilted, and that's just a more natural way to hold something instead of trying to go straight up and down. So that's what I have found so far. So I've got 3 colors here. My daughter saw my first one. She really wanted me to make her one, so her favorites are like pinks and purples. So I've got purple and a teal and a pink that I'm going to be using. And I'm just going to open the color and work right out of the lid. I'll only keep one open at a time, but you don't use that much paint when you're doing these. So I hate wasting paint. So I'm just gonna work right out of my lid here, and we're gonna get started. Now I'm gonna use a lot of the techniques that I learned from Miranda's guest post that's on our site. If you have not read through that or watched her video yet, it is an amazing place to start. She just kind of talks you through how to build the basic structure of your mandala. So if you don't get a lot of paint in your lid, you can shake it up. See, and I just went right into it up and down, even though I told you guys you don't have to do that. I'm gonna start with kind of a smaller dot on this one because it's a smaller rock. And I'm just gonna build from there. I've also got just this dry, cheap washcloth over here, and I just kind of doodle off my colors in between, because these are really cheap. I don't even worry about them that much. So we got purple, and I'm gonna go right into pink. So I'm just gonna start with a smaller dot. I'm gonna go right into my pink, and I'm gonna go at an angle like I told you last time because I'm more comfortable with that. And I'm just gonna start by making an X on my design. I like to err on the side of caution to be further away from the center than to get too close and have my colors flood together. Obviously, that's something that takes practice. Obviously, I can't talk and dot at the same time. The more these you do, obviously, the better you're gonna get. I get a fresh dot of paint each and every time so that you have a consistent dot each time. Now, if you walk your dots, they'll get smaller and smaller. Just like that. And then once you've got the X, you'll split each of these in half. And as you can see, I'm turning my rock every single time so that my hand is in the same angle, in the same placement each time as well. If you try to kind of dot, dot, dot around your rock, most likely they'll start to get a little off on you. And if you're just joining in, this is literally my second rock ever with these dotting tools, and quite possibly maybe my 5th or 6th mandala dot style mandala ever. There you go. And these tools, I'm telling you, make all the difference in the world. For under $10, if this is a style of rock you want to work with, I'm telling you, they're worth every penny. All right, we're going to switch to our third color here. And I just give the bottle a shake, and then you'll have a good amount of paint on the top of your bottle there. There you go. And now we're going to do a dot in between each of these, so we're going to go back a little bit bigger again. I need this in a different position. And if you're not sure what size a dot's going to come off, I mean, I'm working on a piece of paper. Just take a dot and put on your paper so you can see. Like, because I want this dot to be a little bit bigger than the dots that I have down. See, and that will be just a little bit bigger. And again, I'm going to turn my stone. Place it, always place it a little bit further back than you think it might need to be. There you go. And I'm just going to split each of these small dots. Like that, around. And again, it's funny, every time I'm about to dot, I try to actually take a breath and then take my dot. I also made sure to only have 1 cup of coffee before I did this video for you guys. I'm not gonna lie, this is the most nervous I've been for a video in a very long time, because this is definitely not something that I've got a lot of confidence in yet. However, mandalas is the theme of the month, and the whole idea is to step outside the comfort zone, even for me. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Now, again, when you put, I'll show you this after I do these last two. When you get your paint onto your daughter, you'll almost have this little peak. It'll almost drip a little bit. And I'll see if there's a way for me to even show you since you're overhead. But when you get your paint in there, let's see, the camera's over here. You'll get this little peak underneath it. I don't know if you can see that. So just kind of aim with that and slowly touch the paint down to your rock and let the rock kind of pull the paint off of your dabber. You don't want you don't actually push all the way onto the rock. I'm gonna close that, and I'm just gonna rotate kind of between these colors a little bit. And for those that are joining in now, if it says live in the upper left-hand corner, you're watching live. I cannot really see the comments very good from the angle that I'm at, so I apologize for that. But I will answer any questions after the fact. Oh, we should be on purple, not pink. I will answer any questions after the fact if they're left in the comments. I did see something about the daughters. Yes, these daughters, they're amazing. I'm telling you, I couldn't believe they were so cheap. If I knew that they were that affordable, I shouldn't say cheap, but if I knew they were that affordable, I probably would have gotten them a while ago. All right, now I'm gonna show to walk dots. Now that's a term that people use a lot in the dotting. I'm going to do it on my piece of paper here first, because I think when I'm overhead it's kind of hard to see. So you just pick a dot size you want to start with, and when you place down your first dot, the dots that come after will just naturally get smaller because of the amount of paint that's left on your dabber. So a lot of people do these walking style dots on these rocks. So you want to start at the top and dot down to the side. So I'm just gonna get my paint here, and I'm gonna dot right at the tip. Am I in frame? Let me move up because the comments are there. I'm gonna dot right at the tip and then work my way down. And again, often, I'll pull that up so you can see, your dot will spread more than it might look like. I mean, this dotter tool is really tiny when it's cleaned off. Here, I'll even clean it off so you can see. That's why I suggest doing it on paper too. But the paint will spread a little bit bigger than the dotting tool. So as a rule of thumb for me so far, until I get really comfortable with this technique, I always start further from the dot than I think I'm gonna need to be. I'm gonna try my hardest to hold this up high for this one. Like so, just like that. Now, like I said before, now for these dots, it's easier for me to start at the tip and work towards myself. but I will continue to rotate my rock as I'm doing these dots. Oh, see, those two touched a little bit. That one I must have had a little bit more paint on my daughter. If I was really prepared, I would have a Q-tip over here. Oh, here they are. They're right here. Maybe I can get that off really quick. I also have these. I don't know if I put these in the Mandala shop, but they're in our rock painting shop. They're just makeup Q-tips, so they have a kind of a pointier tip to them like this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into that little tiny spot without messing up more of my rock. I might leave it. We're going to see here. Oh, yeah, I'm going to end up touching my teal dot if I do that. So we're just going to leave it. It's rock number 2 ever. I think I can have 2 dots touching. Let me move up again. Sorry, the comments. If you're ever watching a live video, you can turn off the comments. All you have to do is swipe left or swipe right, and the comments will go away. If they're in the way of you being able to see on here. All right, so I'm going to work all the way around and do this. One more here. There we go. Oh, that's driving me nuts, you guys. I can go in, actually, I mean, I just painted these with black acrylic paint. I could go in. I wonder if I can just kind of use a dry one to... No. Okay. Sorry. That's why I don't do a lot of these. The perfectionist in me has a hard time seeing things like that. That's why I do so many things that aren't so easy to notice when you make a mistake. However, so there we go. That's a super basic beginning to the mandala design. You can add, 2 more dots walking down each side. I'm going to probably continue along on this rock, but I just wanted to take a second really quick. If anybody has any questions, I'm going to move to where I can see a little bit and answer any questions. Sue, you're welcome. I'm glad you've always wanted. I've kind of wanted to do them. I always find that the finished rocks of these are just so beautiful. They're just amazing. So I've just always been so nervous to give it a try. But I'm telling you, it's one of those things. Every rock that you do, you're going to get better when you do this kind of thing. Once you've kind of learned a little bit of the structure, a few of the tips. Again, do dotting. Practice your dotting a little bit on paper, especially if you get the tools to get down like what size it's going to be. I'm going to go in here and finish dotting the opposite side on these. I don't see any questions at the moment. So this will be a little bit of a longer live, but I do want to show the whole process here. So if you stopped in, said hi, I'm not going to do anything much more technique wise. I'm just going to continue on with the mandala here. And again, I think I'm underneath the comments there a little bit. Not 100% happy with all these ones, but there we go. Okay, so yeah, some of those got away from us there, but overall, once your complete mandala is finished, sometimes those little ones won't stand out nearly as much. The dotting tools, okay, the link that I have in the post above, there is a part in the mandala post that literally says to grab all of your supplies for mandala painting here, and we have just the things for mandala painting in our Amazon shop. They are on Amazon. I'd love if you use our link. That'd be great. Yes, being patient. That's a hard thing for me as well. Maybe that's why these aren't the easiest thing for me to do as well. Being patient isn't always easy for me. So I'm going to take and I'm going to add my next size. I'm going to see how big this one is here, just to see if that will be too big. See, you want to make sure you test out your dot. Like I want to put a dot in the V of each of these. It'll be straight out from the pink. I think that's going to work just fine. So again, just a little bit of paint on there. And I'm going to be going back to my side angle here. And for now, I kind of almost, you can't see my face, but I'm almost level with the rock to see right as my paint touches down. So you can watch the circle get a little bit bigger and pull up when you've got the size that you want, while you're still a little bit away from the edge of the previous dots. There you go. And there's a lot of different techniques you can start using once you get comfortable with these. I know people dot and drag. They do like drag dots. They almost look like little commas. I'm still waiting to get my pip in the mail. I've got a pip coming that can help if even when you do stuff like this, you have a hard time keeping even spacing. Like some of these are, like those two are a little bit closer together. So this pip thing will help me have guidelines so that as you grow out from the center, it's easier to keep even. So I'm excited to get that. Okay, I'm just gonna do a smaller size dot in between each of those pinks. This might be too small. We'll see what size this looks like. Yeah, that's too small. I want something bigger than that. That's probably the hardest thing for me, is figuring out these sizes of all these different dotters. There's so many to choose from. That's more like what I was looking for. I'm just gonna place a dot off the top tip here from the blue. I'll try to keep it pretty even. See, like this one, look how much closer together that ended up. But I'm gonna skip that one for now because it's gonna make me upset. There we go. That one too. So maybe I'll go every other one, because that one ended up really close together too. There we go. Okay, and again, I wipe my tools off right away. I don't want any crusties from my paint. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk dots out this one. So I'm going to start with one, let's see here. I'm going to dot, let's see. So I'm going to just do, see, I like to walk down usually. I'm going to try walking up here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. In between each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how they just get smaller and smaller. Just showing just a few different techniques you can try. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one kind of went off to the side funny. Guys, I'm my own worst critic, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now we'll go off these ones too. How about that? We've already posted, I posted on Monday, the image. If you try doing your dot mandalas or any style mandala, go ahead and leave an image there. It's fun to come back and compare through the month if you keep working on these throughout the month. Now another thing you can do once some of the other colors have dried a lot more is you can go in and you can layer your dots a little bit. Let's see here, like see these pink ones in here. I could take this super tiny teal dot, see how tiny that is, and add a teal dot in the center of each of these pink ones, or even every other pink one if I wanted to. Like that. Can you see that even? See how tiny that is? But it's something that you can do. You could even make it, oh, see, I come up with ideas as I'm working on these. Just kind of let the rock decide. See, I want to add that tiny little dot in between too. How about that? So I'm going to dot the pink first so it's a little bit off the tip, and then add that teal one in between. I can see how these are a highly addictive style to create, just because there's so many possibilities and color combinations and things that you can do with your designs. A little bit of patience, go light on the coffee. The days that you're going to work on these, I could tell you, I'm a coffee drinker, things like that. See, look how cute that made that center. All right, I could keep going on this forever until the rock is full, but this video has gotten long enough. So again, thank you everybody for watching and the likes and comments. Again, the link that's in this post will take you to our mandala landing page, I guess you could call it, on our website, where you can get to a lot of different tutorials with tips and tricks for your mandalas. There's also the link, and it will say grab all your mandala rock painting supplies in our shop. I just saw that comment. Yes, you have to practice your patience and walk away. Yeah, I mean, you could do one round, walk away, shake out your hands, walk away, and come back. But we'll be back again next Tuesday. I can't tell you the time for sure, but it will be Tuesday with another live mandala painting. I'm going to keep working on this guy until I'm done. I promise to come back and share an image in the comments of this post, and I'll probably add it on my week 1 post as well. So everybody have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.